press briefing for... Am I audible? Can I start? All right. Very good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome to the press briefing for the upcoming Incredible India International Cruise Conference, the first edition, which is scheduled on 14th or 15th of May in Mumbai. Under the aegis of Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, the Mumbai Port Trust Authority is organizing the second two-day conference that will essentially focus on the strength and focus of India in developing the cruise sector, as well as making India the global cruise hub. To set the ball rolling, I now invite Chairman of Mumbai Port Authority, Mr. Rajiv Jalota, to please deliver the welcome address.
Sarbajan Sonowal ji, our Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, and Minister for Ayush. Dr. Sanjeev Ranjan, our Secretary for Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Shri Sanjay Bandyopadhyay, Chairman, Inland Waterways Authority of India. Respective chairpersons of various ports who have joined us virtually. Our media friends, journalists, various officers from the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, and our associated bodies of Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways. This is the curtain raiser event for our first edition of Incredible India International Cruise Conference. At the instance of our Honorable Minister, who motivated us that India should focus itself for a cruise hub in view of the aftermath of the pandemic, as a lot of inquiries are coming from various parts of the world, basically asking for positioning India by certain cruise lines as their home ports. Therefore, the ministry wants to showcase the various initiatives that has been taken in the past few years for promoting cruise tourism in a big way in India. Mumbai has been the cruise capital of India and has persistently seen a rising growth of cruise passengers and cruise vessels just before the pandemic hit us. The number of cruise calls has increased consistently, and one domestic cruise of international standard has presently started operating from Mumbai waters by making Mumbai port as its home port. Now, as part of the promotion of India as a global cruise hub, we have taken this very theme and to showcase the various infrastructure developments also that has happened in various ports in India. River cruise also has seen a substantial rise in the last few years in Indian waters, especially in the northeast and northern part of the country. A small cruise vessel manufacturing also demand seems to be coming from various corners in India. To showcase this, we plan a two-day global international cruise conference. The day one of the conference will focus on a couple of business sessions. One business session will focus on positioning India as a global cruise hub, the various policy initiatives and port infrastructure for cruise ecosystem, followed by a roundtable session on expectation of cruise lines from the various destinations and different authorities. Day two of the conference would include business sessions on role of technology in conducting cruise in post-pandemic scenario, river cruise potential in India, and opportunities for vessel chartering and manufacturing. There will be a session which will showcase various state tourism boards and maritime boards, which will showcase the various destinations that can be clubbed along with cruise tourism. I would now like to invite Sanjay Bandyopadhyay ji, our chairman of Inland Waterways Authority, to speak a few words on this curtain raiser.
Sir, with your permission.
Yes.
Respected Mr. Sarvanand Sonwalji, Honorable Minister for Port Shipping and Waterways and Ayush. Respected Mr. Sanjeev Ranjanji, Secretary, Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways, the officers and colleagues present here and online. We had this waterway conclave at Dibrugarh, in which there was a separate session on river cruise tourism. And we had participation from the cruise operators, the neighboring countries, as well as the travel agents who bring the tourists. But Mumbai being a central place of maritime sector in the country, this conference attract more global players, and we will have all the operators of river cruise tourism. Presently, the river cruise tourism brings in several hundred thousands of tourists in the country. It not only has the domestic tourists, but also foreign tourists coming into the country. Some of the luxury cruise which operate on Ganga, on the Indo-Bangla Protocol route, on Brahmaputra, on Goa, on the Kochi waters and other places attract tens and thousands of foreign tourists too, in addition to hundreds and thousands of the domestic tourists. And this is one of the fastest growing cruise sector in the country, and it is a domestic, so it brings not only revenue and employment to the cruise operators, the people around, and many connected industries. We are presently also now going to construct 62 community jetties on Ganga, which will be additional landing points for this river cruise tourism on River Ganga. Similarly, during the Dibrugarh conclave, in addition to existing tens of the tourist jetties, 3 where the foundation stone was unveiled by Honorable Minister, which is addition to the landing points. There are more demands, and we will be adding these landing jetties on River Brahmaputra. Similarly, there are demands on the Kerala backwater. We are constructing the lock, which will increase the length of the navigable national waterway right from Kollam to the south of Kerala. And we are also increasing the height of the bridges, which will enable more luxury this cruises and cruises bigger than the houseboats to cover, have packages of 15 days or 7 days and more, up to 15 days. This is a demand from the cruise operators. Similarly, the Goa River Cruises are also seeing a jump. They are increasing at a rate of more than 35% or 40%, which was informed by the captain of ports of Goa. So the IBP routes will be there. We will be making all these routes having night navigation, so that crews can move during the night and they can land in the morning at new places and show the tourists to make the packages more attractive. We will also involve the promotion of easier methods of immigration and custom clearance. And I hope that this conference will be helpful for this sector of river cruises. Thank you, sir.
Maritime India Vision 2030 is the blueprint for coordinated and accelerated growth for India's maritime sector in the next decade. The vision document clearly emphasizes on significance of developing India as for ocean, coastal, and river cruise hub. To highlight the ministry's enhanced focus on the cruising sector, I invite Dr. Sanjeev Ranjan, Secretary, Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, for his address, please.
Honorable Minister Sri Sarvanand Sonowal ji, Sri Sanjay Bandyopadhyay ji, Sri Rajiv Jarota ji, my colleagues from the ministry and the various ports who have joined the meeting, my friends from the media. In the last few years, we have made a number of path-breaking changes to promote cruise tourism in India. As a consequence of which, the cruise tourism grew by 35% year on year before the COVID set in. And in 2019, we could have about more than 400 cruise vessels calling our shows. Similarly, the passenger traffic, as I mentioned, grew up by 35% year on year. And we had reached more or less 4 lakh cruise passengers. In the last 2 years, because of COVID, there has been a setback. But in the interim, our ports have gone ahead and have been able to develop the infrastructure which was required to make the landing of the cruise passengers easier. Many of them have got commissioned in the last 2 years. More are in the making, more are being developed. Now, with the COVID situation improving, we see a great opportunity going forward. As was mentioned in the Maritime India Vision 2030, with the India's growth, with the higher disposable income, we expect the cruise traffic to go up by 10 times by 2030. Between now and 2030, at 10 times growth is the kind of numbers that we are looking at. And therefore, to make it happen, this International Cruise Conference that is being organized by Mumbai Port is an important event, which I request all the industry leaders to kindly join in, give your suggestions. In the Maritime India Vision, in addition to the growth target that we have identified a whole lot of specific cruise tourism circuits. Mr. Bandyopadhyay mentioned a few of them regarding the river cruise tourism circuits. There are similar circuits identified for religious tourism, heritage tourism, theme tourism. Now, these are things which the people of India would love to go on. The industry can think of developing packages to be able to get the passengers for these routes. The infrastructure, our ports are committed to doing it. And joining hands, we should be able to make it happen quickly. And with that kind of a vision, we would request that everyone participates in that upcoming conference, and we are able to really give a big thrust under guidance of the Honorable Minister to the vision that we have, and the people of India should be able to experience cruise on their shores with the kind of effort that all of us jointly put in as partners. I thank you all once again and wish the cruise conference all the success so that the vision becomes a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ranjan. With this, we now move on to rolling out this international conference. I invite Sri Sarvanand Sonowal, Honorable Union Minister for Port, Shipping and Waterways, and Ayush to please unveil the event logo with click of a button.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. We request Honorable Minister with the Secretary and Chairman here for a photo op, please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Mascot.
Mascot कहाँ है? Next.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will now unveil the event mascot, Captain Cruise, with the click of a button, please.
बटन दबा दीजिए सर, डिजिटल
ठीक है सर और
Thank you.
ओके वेबसाइट
Thank you very much, Minister Sir. We now request you to please launch the website for this event with the click of a button. Thank you very much. So the media is waiting to hear from you. Request you to please enlighten us with your vision. Ladies and gentlemen, Shri Sarbananda Sonowal, Honorable Union Minister for Port, Shipping and Waterways and Ayush, Government of India. So,
Respected Secretary, Port, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India, Dr. Sanjeev Ranjanji, respected Chairman, Inland Water Authority of India, Sanjay Bandopandey ji, Chairman, Mumbai Port Authority, Rajiv ji, Vice Chairman, Mumbai Port Authority, Adesh Titarmori ji, and respected officials and my journalist friends. Today is a very important moment for all of us who all very sincerely wants to promote cruise tourism in India so that we can take leadership in the globe. Cruise tourism is one of the most vibrant and fast-growing component of the leisure industry. Globally, India is gearing up to be a magnificent cruise destination and capture this growing market. Indian cruise market has the potential to grow by 10 times over the next decade, driven by rising demands and disposable incomes. Our vast and beautiful coastline, virgin forest, undisturbed idyllic islands, and cultural heritage brings uniqueness to our proposition. The Government of India realizes this potential and is determined to position India as a global cruise hub with state-of-art infrastructure for both ocean and river cruises. India did have a promising start in 2017 when the first international cruise docked in India at the Mumbai port, where over 1,800 excited passengers experienced their first international voyage from an Indian port. Since then, cruise tourism in India has increased manifold. In 2017-18, 138 cruise ships call on ports in India carrying 1.76 lakh passengers. The largest ship, Spectrum of Sea, visited Mumbai port. However, in 2020, COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting commercial cruise business suspension cause major blow to the cruise industry. After a slowdown and financial losses for 2 years, the global cruises industry is now slowly staging a comeback. Following robust COVID protocols, the cruise liners are reigniting the business and optimistically looking at creating business value. The Maritime India Vision 2030, launched in March 2021, in its 10 years roadmap for overhauling the Indian maritime sector, lays significant emphasis on promoting and development of ocean, coastal, river cruise along with lighthouse development. To meet the growing demand for trained manpower, MIV proposes establishing 3 dedicated cruise training academies in Goa, Kerala, and West Bengal in partnership with global cruise lines. The plan is estimated to create 2 lakhs plus new jobs, meet the expectation of cruise visitors and cruise line industry, and provide momentum for infrastructure development. The vision document also outlined 5 key themes: pilgrims, heritage, Ayurvedic and wellness, island tourism, regional international circuit for promotion for cruise tourism. The policy plans to incentivize global cruise liners to make India their home ports, all of which bring in immense opportunity for private sector participation in PPP mode. The iconic sea cruise terminal coming up at BPX Indira Dock, Mumbai International Cruise Terminal, is expected to be commissioned by July 2024, is one of the next step forward. The terminal will have a capacity of handling 200 ships and 1 million passengers per annum. The project is costed at 495 crores, from which 303 crores will be incurred by Mumbai Port Authority and the remaining by private operators. To encourage cruise tourism, Government of India, under its ambitious Sagarmala flagship initiative of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, is connecting the ports of Chennai, Vizag, Andaman with that of Goa, which receive maximum foreign tourists. Additionally, to harness the potential and promote growth in this segment, the government has already taken various steps, such as guaranteed berth to cruise ships, removal of ousting charges, uniform single rate for all major ports with discount ranging from 42% to 67%, implementation of e-visa, single e-landing card, waiver of cabotage for foreign cruise vessel on India shore, upgradation and modernization of cruise terminals, construction of new cruise terminals, setting up of task force SOP for uniform predefined processes, volume discount scheme in port tariff for domestic cruise ships, sensitization training program arranged for all cruise stakeholders, launch of Honorable Prime Minister Gati Shakti National Master Plan in October 2021 has further intensified the momentum of overall infrastructure development in the country. We are geared up to optimize this opportunity for growth of tourism sector in India. Therefore, this is an opportunity time to deliberate upon the opportunities and challenges for the sector and accordingly take constructive action to propel this sector into growth trajectory in India. With this background, under the aegis of Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, the Mumbai Port Authority is organizing the first International Cruise Conference on 14 and 15 May 2022 at Mumbai. The 2 days conference on international cruise tourism aims to first showcase India as a desired destination for cruise passengers, highlight the regional connectivity, promote building of new destination and attraction like the lighthouses. Second, disseminate information about India's preparedness for developing the cruise tourism sector. Third, to establish ports like Mumbai, Goa, Kochi, New Mangalore, and Lakshadweep on West Coast, and Kolkata, Vizag, Chennai, Andaman ports on the East Coast as cruise hub of the nation. Fourth, create an enabling and conducive environment for cruise line to exchange views with the government authorities for operating in the region. Fifth, encourage the additional deployment of cruise vessels to India on a long-term basis. Sixth, the domestic cruise potential as per BNA reports for India is around 40 million passengers by 2042-43. Seventh, generate opportunities for small cruise ship building business, income generation for tour operators, employment for youth, skill development through institutional framework. The conference will showcase abundant business and investment opportunities in the cruise tourism sector in the country. It will see participation from key stakeholders, including but not limited to international and Indian cruise lines operators, investors, global cruise consultant, expert maritime boards, tourism boards, senior port officials from across the world, cruise, river cruise operators, tour operators, and travel agents, among others. The agenda for the conference would briefly entail positioning India as a global cruise hub, the policy initiative and port infrastructure for the cruise ecosystem, the role of technology in conducting cruise in post-pandemic scenario, and the river cruise potential and opportunities for vessel chartering and manufacturing. We invite all of you to please join us for the 2-day International Cruise Tourism Conference and exhibition on 14 and 15 May and make it a grand success. I hope everyone will take part in it, and this is a natural potentialities that we have available in the coastal waterways as well as in the Int'l waterways. I believe this particular opportunity should be well explored through our active participation and innovative involvement. Thank you. Hey, Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your vision and guidance. May I now invite Shri Adish Jamare, Deputy Chairman, Mumbai Port Authority, for his vote of thanks, and we will proceed with question and answers with press after his vote of thanks.
Very rightly named, Incredible India International Cruise Conference will be a great initiative towards making India as a cruise hub of the world. I place on record my gratitude towards Honorable Minister Shri Sarvanand Sonowalji for providing his continuous guidance and valuable time. I thank Secretary of the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Dr. Sanjeev Ranjan sir, and also Chairman IWAI, Shri Sanjay Bandyopadhyay sir, for their valuable contribution. Special thanks to Chairman Mumbai Port, Shri Rajiv Jarota sir. All media personnel who took their time out to come here deserve special gratitude from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. कैसे हो जालूटा जी?
ठीक है सर, तैयारी चल रही है
सब
सर।
ठीक ठाक है? ठीक। Okay, thank you.
प्रेस के लोगों को सवाल पूछने हैं। अगर आप क्वेश्चन लेंगे सर, प्रेस यहाँ पूछ रही है, कुछ क्वेश्चन लेंगे आप?